A true story about how I spent $150 and got myself 3 amazing budget luxury watches. So I got my paycheck, paid my mortgage, paid my car lease, paid my bills, put some dosh aside, and I was left with $150 on my favorite hobby, watch collecting. But $150 is not much money considering I love Fieldwatches, I like sapphire glass, I like stainless steel constructions, I like chronographs, and I love GMT movements. I love it too much. So if you go to the high street, $150 will get you close to nothing, zero. But thankfully we've got AliExpress, and there we have options, and even more options. So in this story I will be telling you how I got a GMT watch, an automatic GMT watch, a chronograph with a mecha quartz movement, so mimicking an automatic sweep of the seconds, as well as an automatic Fieldwatch with 200 meters water resistance on a completely 316L stainless steel case and bracelet. All this for $150. So without further ado, let's get into it and talk about these 3 watches. The affiliate links to all of these 3 watches are in the description below the video, so check them out if you're after some sharp prices. For number 1, let's take a look at the Tandorio Fieldwatch. The standout features include sapphire crystal, covering a vast array of dial options, from radially fading blue, grey, red, green, and even caramel browns. But obviously here we've got the blue one. Astounding pricing really, considering it's a fully stainless steel construction and all I paid was $45. We get a screw and crown and a screw down case back. It's also powered by the Seiko NH35 at 24 joule, 21,600 beats per hour movement. It also gets 42 hours of power reserve. This watch is 200 meters water resistant. With regards to dimensions, we get a diameter of 39 millimeters, a lug-to-lug length of 53 due to protruding male end links, a height of 12 millimeters, a lug width of 20, but the bracelet tapers down to 18 millimeters at the clasp, and the weight here, without removing any links to fit my 6.5-inch wrist, is 170 grams. This is quite the brute, a real field watch that can take a beating. Brushed case all over, brushed bracelet as well. Look at the profile, notice the tall and finely brushed look. The fat lugs slant down aggressively, the tall fixed bezel supports the flat slab of sapphire crystal over the seemingly simple yet at careful inspection and intricately detailed dial. The 1 to 12 hour numerals are 3D-like due to the submerged backdrop. The gradient fading from the pinions to the perimeter is also special. The sterile white syringe hands provide stark contrast for crystal clear legibility. Now let's do a lume test. It's so bright even though all elements are printed on this dial. The bracelet gets decent tolerances and good link fluidity. A very solid feeling bracelet, like a Volkswagen, built to last. Sorry about that pun. So $45 were well spent, and now let's get on to number 2. For number 2, I chose a direct opposite to this Fieldwatch brute. I picked up an elegant and chic style chronograph by Pagani Design, specifically the PD1773. It's not an automatic, yet powered by a Seiko mecha quartz, meaning it gets a sweeping seconds hand, mimicking the fluid sweep of an automatic. The beauty of this movement is the pinpoint precision of up to 0.2 seconds. The PD1773 is a 38mm diameter watch, essentially the perfect size for his 5.5 inches and upwards. With a water resistance of 100 meters, the obvious wide set lugs and riveted 3-link bracelet design, the watch is very sporty. There are 3 color options available, the blue, white and this black. What I love on the black here is that we get numerals and indices in a salmon hue, and that just looks so special and elegant. Of course, we do get a dome sapphire crystal setup here with anti-reflective treatment applied. The sunburst dial is fun and lively, shooting light rays from the pinions across the Chrono subdials to the reho. It also features a screw crown and a screw-down case back. The case is a mixture of brushed and polished surfaces. The flank presents the modest dimensions in full flare. A tight arch from one lug to the other, tall at the midsection and fainting low at the lug tips. The transition to the lug hoods are done via 45-degree polished bevels. These cut into the monolithic appearance, catching light and making for an elegant appeal. The fixed bezel is also polished, just like the chronograph pushers and the threading of the screw and side crown. More light play comes from the polished threads on the bracelet. Mind you, the bracelet end links are inverted, making modest dimensions a key attribute on this piece, and hence very accommodating to my rather slender 6.5-inch wrist. So if we talk about the dimensions, the diameter is 38mm, the lug-to-lug length is 46.2mm, a height of 13mm, and a lug width of 20mm with the bracelet tapering down to 18 at the clasp. The weight, before removing any links, is 155 grams. So another $50 was spent on this chronograph, and together with the Fieldwatch, $95. But what do I have so far? Well, I've got two stainless steel watches. The Fieldwatch, 200 meters water resistant. The Chrono is 100 meters water resistant. Both get sapphire crystal, flat on the Fieldwatch, domed on the Chronograph. Mecha Quartz automatic. Love it. Let's keep going to the third piece, because this piece is going to be the most expensive in this collection. $55. Very expensive. And that should bring the tally to $150. So let's talk about it. I went for a very special watch here. This is an automatic Lefty GMT piece. This Lefty self-winding automatic GMT is another bargain. The rotating unidirectional ceramic bezel is bicolored. The look gives away the inspiration with ease, I hope. I did want a left-facing crown watch for some time now. The PD1662 seemed to combine all my wants into a budget price that fit my budget. It's a fully stainless steel construction here. The bicolored 24-hour GMT ceramic bezel looks great. We get a signed screw and crown and an exhibition case back. The signed and decorated rotor allows for a glimpse to the cogs, gears and the balance wheel of the Pearl automatic movement. The piano black dial is protected by a sapphire crystal and a sapphire cyclops above the date window at 3 o'clock. With regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 40.5mm, a lug-to-lug length of 49.8mm, a height of 12.3 without the cyclops or 13.6 with it, and a lug width of 20mm. The weight of the watch without removing any links is 145 grams. The brushed and polished surfaces provide for enticing light play across the whole case. Then, of course, we look at the Jubilee-style bracelet, and that adds to the luxurious aspirations of the watch. The tolerances are not superior, yet the fluidity and link articulation will ensure a comfortable fit as the bracelet links drape the wrist. The folding clasp is milled and signed, and of course, the elephant in the room is the GMT functionality, an absolute must for the dual time zone coverage. And all this, once again, for $55. So here we are. For $150, I picked up a whole lot of beautiful watches, which are very different, but let's agree. Maybe they're not luxury watches, they're not Swiss made, of course they're not, they're Chinese made. But I get two automatic watches, one is a GMT, one's a Mecha Quartz chronograph. A functional chronograph, mind you. One is a really good looking and very functional field watch. This is a lot to ask for, but not for a lot of money. Anyways, I'm really happy with this collection. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below the video. So the affiliate links to all of these three watches are also in the description below the video, so check them out if you're after some sharp prices. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.